Hello everybody, finalKenpachi. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. In this video, we are gonna take a look the upcoming Rebalance update. Two champion getting Rebalance, both of them from the Secret Order, guys. The first one is the Vitrios Void Legendary Champion. Since the Plarium release him, he's not really that good, guys. Like people actually putting him on the vault. And the another champion is the same as the Hot String. Since the Plarium release him, he's pretty much meh, guys. Okay. We are gonna take a look. Their skill, their changes, and I'm gonna tell you guys is this changes worth to build them. Okay, let's start with the Vitrios first. Vitrios is the Secret Order Void Legendary Champion, attack type champion, and as you guys see, his base stats are alright. I mean, if you are gonna build him DPS, he have a decent amount of the attack, but his job is not DPS. He actually should be support character, but this is the another video subject. Okay, guys. Before the losing more time, let me show you guys the changes on the Vitrios. His A1 skill, guys, attack one enemy twice, and the changes. The change is kind of weird, guys. So let me show you guys the current version first of all. So exactly same, all right. The first hit healed this champion by 30% of the damage dealt. The second is has a chance of to place a fear debuff for one turn. If the target is the boss, the second is has a chance of the placing decrease speed debuff for 2 turns instead. So fear, the changes, guys, they are changing this fear to the true fear. And if I'm not mistaken, if he got a full heal after this attack, he's gonna. I mean, you don't need the accuracy for that because this true fear debuff cannot be resisted. I find that so funny, guys. Like, I don't know, like, personally, there is no difference between fear and the true fear. Secondable, cannot be resisted, gonna make him the ship targeting. So, in the arena, guys, everybody have a ship blessing. Ship is the very strong meta right now. And given a champion on the default skill, has a chance of to place a debuff, which is cannot be resisted if you got a full HP. Basically, gonna make him ship. And again, like even like if we are gonna forget the ship, still very weak. Like there is no difference between the fear and the true fear, to be honest, in my opinion. Obviously, true fear, if the proc, you are losing your skill cooldown, but in the arena wise, guys, like pretty much useless. PV content, pretty much useless again. All right, nobody care about the single target fear or the true fear. His A2 skill, guys, attack all enemy. Before attacking, remove all increased defense, melee protection, and strength buff from all enemies. This effect cannot be resisted. This part is exactly the same, guys, but this bold part we are gonna focus. If at least one buff was removed, also place increased attack and increase critical damage buff on this champion for 2 turns. We'll also ignore 30% of the each target defense. Boost this champion turn meter by 30% for the each enemy alive after the attack. So basically, guys, he's getting a self buff for this skill if you manage to remove at least one buff from the enemy. Yes. Which is the weird increase attack and increase critical damage buff actually looking solid right on the paper. Maybe you can build them DPS. But the problem is after the attack he's gonna get the increased attack and the increased critical damage buff after he hit them. So after you are gonna be hit them, he's gonna get a buff. Very weird, doesn't make sense buff again on both his A1 and the A2 skill. Let's take a look at the A3, be my hand, attack one enemy twice. This bold part is the changes, guys. Each hit ignore 30% of the target defense and destroy the enemy max HP by 25% of the damage dealt. Cannot destroy the single enemy max HP by more than 75%. If the target is the boss, destroy the max HP equal to 35% of the damage dealt. If the target has any active skill on the cooldown, both hit will ignore 50% of the target defense instead. Ignore shield, unkillable, and the block damage buff. So basically, guys, it's gonna start the ignoring defense now. Yes, and that's all. And if the target has any active skill on the cooldown, so let's say like if the target got a turn, or if you put the target skill on the cooldown, basically if you have a warlord, you make a lockout champion, and it's gonna be ignored further 50%, guys. Okay. Also, it's gonna be ignore shield, unkillable, block damage buff. I don't think that skill is worth it in anything, guys. Like, in my opinion, ignoring 50% target defense under condition and 30% ignore defense without condition is super weak in the arena wise. Like, we are talking about Void Legendary champion, he need to be better than this. And the passive skill also getting a buff, guys. The buff is the reducing cooldown by 1 turn, so it's gonna be 4 turn cooldown now. Let me read it. Inside reset, the cooldown of this champion random active skill whenever an enemy increase the cooldown of any of their skill. Grant extra turn if the skill cooldown was reset. After grant an extra turn, places this skill on the cooldown. So which means passive skill, okay? So after this is proc, this skill going to cooldown. Will also grant extra turn if the ally, mastery, artifact set, or the accessory decrease the cooldown of any one of these champion skill. After grant an extra turn, place this skill on the cooldown. So passive skill looking interesting, right? Promising against the lockout champion, lockout team. Little bit RNG mechanic going on there. But on these days, we have a lots of great champions, especially Ankara, guys. Like, Ankara has a arena definitely usage. And Ankara A1 can reduce your cooldown as well, so they can be trigger each other. But in my opinion, guys, still not worth it buff. Let me know what you guys thinking about the Vitreous. And let's move to the host ring now. Alright, everybody, time for the host ring. Host ring buff is a little bit more promising than the Vitreous, guys. Let me mention his skill real quickly. First of all, his A1, guys. So his A1 normally attacking two random target. First buff is the change in this. So instead of the 2 random target, guys, he's gonna attack 1 target twice, okay? If this champion is under Veil or the Perfect Veil buff, each hit has 50% chance of the decrease the target turn meter by 15%. Place increase attack buff on this champion 2 turn if this attack is critical. So the changes is this gonna be attack 1 target twice, and if he's under Perfect Veil or the Veil buff, it's gonna be decrease the target turn meter by 15%. Obviously, this decrease in target turn meter by 15% not going to work most of the bosses. Keep that on your mind. The changes on the A2. So guys, his A2 was attacking 3 times at random. This is also changing, which is a good thing. Now he's gonna be target the 1 enemy 3 times, guys. Okay, he's gonna attack 1 enemy 3 times instead of attacking 3 random enemies. Okay, guys. If the target under Hex debuff, each hit will ignore 25% target resistance. Will ignore further extra 25% of the target defense if they are also under decrease speed debuff, guys. Okay. Will also ignore an additional 25% of the target defense if they are from Bannerlord or the Night Revenant faction. So basically, guys, if the enemy has a Hex debuff, it's going to be ignore 25% target defense. If the enemy under decrease speed debuff as well, he's going to be ignore 25% again. And if the enemy from Bannerlord or the Night Revenant, he's going to be ignore extra 25%. So basically, very solid for the Hydra wise, this skill, guys, because Hex and the decrease speed debuff kinda needed on the Hydra, especially if you guys aiming more than 1 key damage. And basically, he's gonna be ignore 50% of the target defense if they are under Hex or the Hex and decrease speed debuff. And he's attacking 3 times. So imagine there is a head in the field, guys, under decrease speed debuff and the Hex debuff. So he's gonna attack this head 3 times, and each attack going to ignore 50% of the head defense, guys, which is the Hydra level loss of the defense. In the arena wise, if you manage to land the Hex debuff and the decrease speed debuff, enemies from Bannerlord on the Night Revenant, sure, he's going to be ignored. 75% target defense. I believe this is very hard to use it on the arena, but very promising on the Hydra, guys, which is his A3 skill, going to make more sense, guys. Okay. By the way, this skill multiplier is the 2, guys, and attack 3 times, so 6 multiplier. This skill definitely gonna hit real hard, guys. And A3 ability. The thing is, they are not changing on the A3, guys. It was attack 4 times at random, still attack 4 times at random. That's kinda you know. But the changes is each hit 75% chance of to place a hex debuff for 3 turn, and this part is the new decrease speed debuff for 2 turn. Champion from Bannerlord and the Night Revenant faction cannot be resist this debuff. That's also the new part. Each hit also has 75% chance of the steal, 25% target turn meter. If the target is Bannerlord or the Night Revenant faction, still 50% instead. Also place a perfect weight buff on this champion by 2 turn. So the good thing is, this skill already cast an hex debuff. Now additional going to cast decrease speed debuff as well. So Hydra wise hex debuff and the decrease speed debuff, 2 of them is the very solid. But it's hard to use this champion as your debuffer on the Hydra. Why? First of all, attack 4 times at random. Second of all, 4 turn cooldown after you poke. 4 turn cooldown debuff is not great on the Hydra, guys. You guys obviously can use him with another hexer or hex action, not that bad, because hex is 3 turn duration. Hex debuff is the 3 turn duration, so maybe can be work. But as a decrease speed, because decrease speed is only 2 turn, guys, you guys definitely need another decrease speed champion to use him. But again, definitely worth to build, guys, especially on the hard difficulty on the Hydra. Like if you kill the head, you know, if you land the decrease defense and the weaken debuff on the head, perfect scenario. And if this head also under hex debuff and the decrease speed debuff, this skill A2 ability attack 3 times, definitely gonna do some insane damage on this head. And the passive skill, guys, if this champion attack a target under hex debuff and the decrease speed debuff, place a perfect will buff on this champion by 1 turn. This effect will not activate when counter-attacking. Also increase this champion critical damage 30% while attacking under perfect veil buff. So the difference is if the champion attacked 2 targets under hex debuff during the same turn, he was getting perfect veil buff. So condition is a little bit changed now. So he need to attack the target under hex and the decrease speed debuff. I guess that's alright, that's okay, because previously he was attacking random target, right? So it was hard to attack the same target. They are buffing the skill, actually. It's not that hard to use it now, but they decided to change something on the passive skill. Not a massive, to be honest. The good thing is, if he's under perfect veil buff, he's gonna get a more critical damage, which is his A3 skill giving him perfect veil buff. The problem is 4 turn cooldown. But again, I still believe Holstring gonna be solid on the Hydra wise. His base attack kinda low, but if you guys already have a Holstring maxed, you know, especially with the high blessing, definitely give him a chance on the Hydra wise, guys. And that was it. Vitrios, sadly, guys, I don't think going to be a usage. The other thing, guys, obviously we have a faction unity champion right now. Vixville was the fusion, actually. They released it recently. Solid on the Hydra as well. Like if you guys have a Falmount, you can definitely make some comp between them. So keep that on your mind, definitely, especially the Holstring. Vitrius arena wise, I don't think we are going to see his face at all. But that was it. Let me know what you guys thinking about this balance update. I was waiting a little bit more solid, especially on the champion like Void Legendary, guys. Vitrius, it's not that easy to get a Void Legendary champion. I keep saying that, but it is. Anyway, hopefully Plarium can buff Vitrius again. And thank you so much for the watching. Catch you guys on the next time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.